we're going to predict our two favorite teams' NFL schedules. Mine being Philadelphia Eagles, Steve being the Miami Dolphins. I don't remember how accurate you were, Steve. I said 12-5, which
I
ended
think
up
I was like
being
11-6.
I think the Eagles ended up being 10-7. So I was like kind of close. What did the
Yeah,
Dolphins finish last year? I don't remember.
I think they finished 11-6,
Did
but
they?
yeah, I think I'm not sure.
Well, I'm sure editing me will check and throw up if that's right or not. But yeah, so we're gonna do that again. We're gonna start off with Philadelphia. Go Birds. Philadelphia Eagles. 2024 schedule. Game 1 in Brazil against the Green Bay Packers. Packers to me are right now, I am not buying a lot of stock in them going into next season. I know a lot of people are. They're a buzz team. A lot of buzzwords going on with the Packers right now. I think they're going to come out with a nice little start, kind of buy into that hype, and then slowly fall off. Eagles kind of going the opposite way. So I got to starting off with a loss. Playing in the Falcons and the Saints, not too worried about either one of them. I know the Falcons had a whole bunch of changes. Who cares? The Saints are the Saints. Then we got the Bucks at Tampa Bay. Beat us last year in the playoffs. I think we're going to go into that either too confident or too chill, or Tampa Bay is going to feel like they have our number. I think they're going to get us once again. Just a gut feeling I have. But then we have our bye week. We then go against Cleveland and New York. I got a win against both of those teams. Once again, not too worried about either one of them. The Giants are going to be terrible. We'll see if the Browns can stay healthy for a whole season. Joey B and the Bengals, I think they're going to have a very, very, very strong season next year, a good comeback season. Got us losing there. 3-game win streak coming up next. Jacksonville, Dallas, Washington. 3 straight. I think Dallas and Philly specifically, home field does not matter just because of how intense the rivalry is. I think both teams are going to tune out what's going on around them. The Rams, I got us taking an L there. They were good and they were mediocre. And I think this season they're going to finally piece it all together. We'll see if Matt Stafford can piece together a whole healthy, strong, healthy season for the Rams. Ravens, Panthers, Steelers. Once again, all W's. I went back and forth with the Ravens. I think they're going to have not a down year, but just not as good as they were, last season when they had Super Bowl aspirations. Panthers, Steelers, no problem. Who cares? Commanders, I got us losing that last game. Or I'm sorry, I was winning that last game, losing then to the Cowboys, and finally ending with a loss at home to the Giants because I assume we'll be gearing up for playoff, maybe sitting people, who knows. But 11-6 is what I got Philly going next season. The big question for Philadelphia is which was the fraudulent season, the Super Bowl run or last year? I am going with last year, so I think they'll be a tick better, and that's what I got.
I don't think you're going to lose to the Cowboys this year, even though historically that happens. I don't think you're going to. Other than that, I had the Eagles going 12-5. You and me had almost exact numbers there. But yeah, no, everyone knows here that the Birds are my second favorite team. So, I'm always going to appreciate a good Birds season. So
Go Birds.
Yeah, go Birds. But anyways, now on to the real team.
Oh, okay.
Fins up, baby. The Dolphins this year for me are a team that it's kind of a now or never situation for me right now. You have a quarterback in Tua who he needs to get the job done. We need to get out of the first round. So without further ado, let's get into what I think the Dolphins season is going to look like. So game 1, we're at home versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am not a big believer in the Jags. I don't think they're going to be any better than they were last year this year. I think that we beat the Jaguars pretty handily at home, first game of the season. Second game, home versus the Bills. The Bills have lost some important pieces on their offense. I think that the Bills are not going to be as good this year as they were last year. I have us beating the Bills at home this year. We usually play the Bills pretty well in Miami, so I think that's going to be a W for us. Then we go at the Seahawks. I don't have much faith in the Seahawks, never really have, ever since Russell Wilson and that defense no longer exists. So moving on to week 4, we have the Titans at home. The Titans lost Derrick Henry. They're probably going to start Will Levis as their quarterback. I don't have much faith in the Titans. I think we win. So right there, we're 4-0 through week 4. Week 5, we go up to Foxborough, face the Patriots. I don't think the Patriots are going to be very good this year. I think they're still rebuilding. I think that's a W for us. So 5-0 there. Heading into the bye week in week 6, I say we're 5-0. So heading into week 7, we are in Indianapolis. I think that we win that game. I still think Indianapolis is too young. I think the emergence of, I think Anthony Richardson has a lot of questions to answer after last season. So, getting hurt. So I think we win there. I have us home versus the Cardinals. I think we win that game. I'm just not a big believer in the Cardinals. I don't think they have enough weapons at their disposal to beat the Dolphins and to keep up with us offensively. And I just don't believe in their defense very much. So we are at the Bills. So I think that we lose that game. We usually don't play very well in Buffalo, and the Bills Mafia usually gets that stadium rocking. So I think that's our first loss of the season there. We are at the Rams. I think we beat them. I think losing Aaron Donald, their defense takes a significant downward trajectory. And I think that on offense, where they can keep up with us, I just think our defense, when we got into the meat of our season last year, we had already lost our best edge rusher to injury. We were already down a cornerback. And we had a lot of injuries all over the defense. So I think we can keep up with them. I think we knock the Rams off to go to 8-1. And then we have the Raiders at home. I don't think the Raiders are going to be very good this year. I think we take that win. Then we have home versus the Patriots. The Patriots don't play well historically in Miami. I have us winning that game as well. Then we have week 13 in Green Bay. Once again, I'm just not a big believer in Green Bay. I think they had a great season last year. They had a good Cinderella-esque run, beating the Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs, but I think we win that game. And then we enter our 3-game stretch of losses. So we are home versus the Jets. I think we split that. I think that Aaron Rodgers finds a way down the stretch to get the Jets some wins with his experience. I think the Jets actually beat us that game. And then we are at the Texans. I think we'd lose that game. I think CJ Stroud's the real deal. I'm bought in on him. I think that the Texans are the real deal. I think this is the emergence of their time in the AFC. I think they're going to be pretty good. So, and then we are home versus the Niners. Niners are Niners. I think they beat us pretty handily in that game. Their defense is top tier. Then we are at the Browns, which I think we beat them. I'm not very big on the Browns this year. We're not sure what Nick Chubb is going to come back looking like. And then finally, week 18, I think we beat the Jets in the Meadowlands. So I think we beat the Jets that game to bring our grand total to 13-4 on the season. I think this is going to be a good season for the Dolphins, and I think we're actually going to be able to contend pretty well in the AFC. But it's all going to come down to what happens in the playoffs.
Was there a move in the offseason or something that you heard or saw that you think that Miami is going to make this big leap, or is it just kind of like a gut feeling you have?
I think it's really just Miami needs to stay healthy because we had a lot of injuries on our defense last year. We limped a makeshift defense into the playoffs to play the Chiefs in the first round, and we still made it slightly competitive. Yeah. So, I think that with a better if we can keep our defense healthy, that's really what it's going to come down to, because offensively, the Dolphins have shown that they can put up points on teams. Their speed, they've locked in Jalen Waddle. They've locked in Tyreek Hill. We have him coming back. I just think that this is the year. It's a do or die year for Mike McDaniels and Tua Tagovailoa.
And that's what we got for you. I got the Eagles going 11-6. Steve with the Dolphins going 13-4. 2 pretty good seasons, 2 playoff-bound teams. We'll see how it works out. What do you guys think about our predictions? What do you guys think about some of the games that we called? We had some quarterback takes in as well. Let us know your thoughts. And if we should do more team schedules, if this was something you guys like, maybe we'll venture to other teams. Listen to the sound. I listen to the sound.